Alright, I've done some work, but I had a request on doing number 7, so I'm going to do number 7. So my first job is to use the half angle identity as requested by the question. So on the half angle formula, this one is using the sine, so we're going to find sine of a half angle. So sine of a half angle equals positive or negative square root of 1 minus cosine theta over 2. And I'm going to use this formula, and I just copied it down here. But this one, it says positive or negative, but we are going to decide if it's positive or negative by our quadrant. So again, we have sine of a half angle. So basically 5 pi over 6, this 5 pi over 6 is theta over 2. That's my half angle. So to get our original angle, we're multiplying both sides by 2. So multiply by 2, this one divide out, and 2 on the top, these 2 can factor out the 2 and make it 5 power 3. So we're going to find on the quadrant, sorry, I can't make a straight line, but on this angle 5 pi over 3, which quadrant is it? So it's actually, we can see that first is above pi, is above 1 pi, so it should pass this pi. And again, here's 0, here's pi, and here is 3 pi over 2. That's like 1.5. And we can actually find this angle 5 pi over 3 on the fourth quadrant. So if you don't know why it's fourth quadrant, you can just compare if it's greater than 3 pi over 2 and smaller than 2 pi. And again, one full circle is 2 pi. It's 5 pi over 3 is between those two numbers, so that's why it's in the fourth quadrant. Alright, here in the fourth quadrant is our original angle theta. So, but we are going to find, not the original angle, but half of the angle. So this whole angle goes from 0 to here, the theta. But we are going to find half of this. So half of this is like right in the middle, and that's where I use the orange color. So from 0 to this orange line will be the half angle, and it will be in the second quadrant. So first, second quadrant, what's the sign? What's the sign of the sine? What's the sign of sine in the second quadrant? And again, cosine is about x, sine is about y. So this y value on the second quadrant will be positive number. So we know we are going to use this positive. So let's rewrite this formula. Sine theta over 2, in this case sine of 5 pi over 6, will equal to a positive square root of 1 minus cosine theta over 2. And cosine theta, again, is our original function. And again, you need to remember 30 degrees and 60 degrees and the trigonometry about it. So this original angle is right here. I mean, the angle is all the way down, but we can use a triangle from the point on the circle to the x-axis. So on this angle, here is your 60 degrees. Like this angle right here is your 60 degrees. That's like a pi over 3 right here. And cosine of the theta is the same thing as cosine of the 60 degrees, but we need to take care of the signs. So cosine of sine give me one space. Cosine of the sine will equal to cosine of 60 degrees is adjacent over hypotenuse. That's 1 over 2. but we need to pay attention if the cosine should be positive or negative. This one is on the fourth quadrant. The cosine is about x, and x here is on the positive axis side. So this will be a positive, a half. So then we apply the formula, and this time we know what's cosine theta. So this will equal to positive. I don't need to write down the positive. It will equal to 1 minus 1/2 over 2. And that will be 1 minus a half. It's like a half. So a half over 2 will equal to, so what's a half? Divide by 2, it means a half, right? So what's a half of a half? What's a half divided by 2? That's 1/4. So this one will be under square root. Pay attention. So square root of a half. And square root of 1 is just 1. Square root of 4, we actually know what that is. That's 2. So here's your final answer. Sine of 5 power 6 will equal to 1 over 2. And I mean, that's basically how you do the other questions as well. So again, this provided angle is your half angle. We need to find the full angle first, and then apply the half angle formula to find what's the trig of the half angle. Alright, hopefully you had a great week, and please finish the practice by yourself so that you can do well on the quiz for tomorrow.